Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a quick comic haul. Actually, some of these comics are comics that I'll be selling probably this week, selling to LCSs or whatever I can, whoever will take them. So that's so the first part is a little mini CGC haul. And up first we have The Flash, number 53. Is from 2018. So The Flash, number 53, says Joshua Williamson story and Christian Deuce art. So every now and then I like to drop a deuce. So there you go. The Flash, number 53. I think it's pretty cool. 9.6 CGC white pages. So I think it's pretty neat. So I like the back cover too, the death of Superman there. So pretty nice. So there you go. Slab's looking pretty. Starting off right. I like Flash. This is an almost near complete DC haul if it were not for this next book. Also going to be selling this one. It's Spider-Woman number 42 at 9.6 CGC. It's pretty nice. I actually don't have this one in raw copy, but since I'm collecting the... Alright, I don't know that I'm going to collect the entire run of Spider-Woman, but what happened was I was collecting every appearance of Werewolf by Night, and he makes several appearances in the Spider-Woman, and it's also a very short run. I think there's only 50 comics in this run. So even though I'm trying to move a little bit away from picking up runs, I already have like half this run, so I feel like I just need to go ahead and finish it. But anyway, if I do finish it, I'm going to want to pick them all up in readable form. That way I can read through all the stories. So this one being a 9.6, unless there's a reprint out there, which I doubt. Maybe I'll pick up another copy, but I'm probably going to let this one go. But in any case, what I do is that when I pick up slabs to sell, I'm always looking for ones that I wouldn't mind keeping, because every now and then you might get stuck with one if it doesn't sell or you can't get back out of it what you have in it. As long as you're buying it for a good price already, then you can keep it, and you usually don't feel too bad about it. So really like these. I think this is a pretty cool Spider-Woman cover. So Chris Claremont story, and a bunch of other people covered. Steve Lealoha. So there you go. Steve Lealoha. There you go. So there, those are the ones I picked up for sale. Then I'll move on to my regular haul. Books I picked up this week, and there's only one big book, the rest are small. But here I'm picking up all the number ones from Walmart. So here is Swamp Thing number 1. So it's a 100-page giant from Walmart. So I like these pretty well. Usually only the first story is new, and then all the other stories are going to be reprints, but pretty cool. I've been only picking up the number 1s to keep, and the rest, if I pick them up, I might thumb through them for a second and then sell them. But I like the number 1s just to have a set of the number 1s. I don't have Teen Titans number 1. It's the only one I didn't pick up. Actually, I did pick it up and I sold it because I just didn't care anything about the Teen Titans. So I like this Swamp Thing. Very scary cover. It's a good cover. Next we have Wonder Woman number 1. Not really impressed with this cover at all. It's a very boring cover to me. Just, I don't know, it looks like a kid drawing. It's not really impressive to me at all. But in any case, I picked it up so I could say I had all the number 1s except for Teen Titans. So I like Wonder Woman, and I liked this little cover. I like the top where they did all the DC characters up top. And then I also like this little bust out with Cheetah there. I really like that. I think that looks cool. So anyway, so there you go. Next on the list we have The Flash 100-page giant. So I picked up all 3 of these as soon as they came out. So very happy to have that one. There's Mirror Master, The Flash, Gorilla Grodd, who I love, Adam Strange, Billy Batson, and Shazam. You know, they could have put them in the same box, you would think, but whatever. I guess they're really selling that duality of it all. So there's a pretty cool cover too. I like The Flash when he's happy, running, not super goofy, but he should be happy when he runs, I think. So it looks pretty cool. It says a Flash versus Turbine. So I really like the trade dress on these. I think they're doing a great job of, they have of course, the big words there, and they have the top banner. I just like the way that they look. I think they make a nice little package for the series. And then the book I won in auction. I was really happy to win this one. Super excited. And I got it for a fair price. I probably could have paid less to get a copy of it, but I definitely paid about half what a copy this good is going for. I give it about a 4.5, which is already higher than I usually pick up. So, but there's Detective Comics number 407. So if you all know, I'm been picking up a lot of Man-Bat, specifically the Neal Adams covers. So I picked up Detective Comics 400, and I think the other one is 402. So I have both of those, and 400 and 402 kind of lend into each other. And then here's the next Man-Bat story at 407, and then I think the last Neal Adams cover is 416, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be looking on the lookout for that. And that one can range anywhere from 20 to 40 bucks. So, and so does this one. So hopefully going to get that one at a fair price, and maybe even win it in auction. I've got my ears out for the auctions. So there you go, Detective Comics, Batman and Batgirl, Detective Comics number 407. This would be the third appearance of Man-Bat, if I'm not mistaken. So, and pretty cool cover. I like that. I always like the Neal Adams Batman colors too, with the gray and the yellow and black and the blue. I like that color scheme for Batman the best, and it just looks more dynamic. I like the black ones, but it doesn't. When they draw the dark blue, when they draw the blue just right, it often looks very black as well. So, but I don't really care for the all black Batman. It looks too much like a ninja. I like him to be more bright and colorful. So there you go. I love that Man-Bat. Neal Adams really just did a great job on that character. Just made it look beautiful. So next I'm going to talk just a little bit. So that was the last book I'm going to show. But so if all you care about are books, then you can turn off now. But I'm going to talk a little bit about media mail. I know that a lot of people have fussed and complained about media mail, and then some people are staunch supporters of it. So here's the bottom line. If you're not familiar with what media mail is, it's simply it's a product offered by the U.S. Postal Service, and they ship items that are basically books, so long as, or I think you can also send like a video cassette or like a CD or something like that, or a tape or an 8-track should you so need to. But it's basically, consumable media like that, entertainment type media. But you're not allowed to have any advertisements. So there is another form of media mail that is like the next step up from media mail, and it's called bound printed matter. Okay, so bound printed matter you don't hear very much about. And what bound printed matter is basically a book, and it can have advertisements. So it can be like a magazine or anything else, but it's bound and it's printed, and it's basically a book. So what happened is that I had ordered, I had won this book in auction, and I had also won those other 2 slabs that I showed in auction. Well, the seller sent all of it as bound printed matter. So technically, if he had just, or she had just sent this book, then it would have qualified for bound printed matter, or but not media mail. So media mail can't have any advertisements. So basically, almost no comic book can be sent as media mail correctly. Now, every now and then, I've talked to a postal employee, and it's like, yeah, you can send it as media mail. But the truth of the matter is that they do inspect packages, and when they inspect packages, you can get busted for having a comic in the package. So let's talk about that. When my box arrived, it was stamped all over it. This has been inspected by the U.S. Postal Service. And I know a lot of people say, I've shipped 100 things and I've never had a problem. Well, let me tell you what a problem looks like. That's what a problem looks like. It's an inspection slip. And what it's telling you there is that the package has been sent either media mail or bound printed matter. And in accordance with this, we checked it. So in this case, this package was sent as bound printed matter, not media mail. So it can have advertisements, but still has to be books. Well, apparently it failed. So it says contents do not qualify for rate claimed. And the reason that it failed is because a slab, unlike what a lot of slab hunters will tell you, is not a comic book anymore. So it is now another product. So the U.S. Postal Service does not recognize a slab as a book anymore. A slab is no longer a book. Now it's an item, it's a collectible, it's whatever else you want to call it, but it's not a book anymore, according to the U.S. Postal Service. So it failed inspection. So what happens when a book fails inspection, or when any package fails inspection for the U.S. Postal Service, is that they stop it, they don't let it continue on its route, and they contact whoever sent it. And in contacting whoever sent it, it says, look, do you want, they send like a postcard or however they can contact, and they say, do you want to continue? Do you want us to continue to send this on and pay us what you owe us for the rate difference? Or do you want us to send it back to you? Or do you want us to send it with more money due on delivery, like from the buyer? So in this case, the seller paid the difference and said continue on. So, and that all happened in the same day, so it didn't really delay my package too much. But not every seller is going to be that responsive. Not every postal service is going to make the request the same day. I've heard tale of these packages sitting, you know, with a stamp like this on it for weeks, and no one even contacts the shipper until, you know, weeks later. So it can just, bottom line is, don't ship media mail, don't ship bound printed matter unless it is a comic book instead of a slab. So never ship slabs media mail for sure. And definitely don't ship comics media mail unless you're willing for your buyer to take the chance of not getting their package. Because let me tell you something, they opened this box and I don't know how roughly they handled it, but have you ever got a box from the U.S. Postal Service? Like, I barely want them touching the outside of my box, much less digging in through a book that I won in auction and 2 slabs. Like, I don't want any part of that. And I know that they took the slabs out of the sleeves because they were put back in upside down. So I know that they completely opened it, opened the book, went through the book. I think because they have to check the comic to make sure whether, because it could be just a print or something like that. So they check it to see if there's advertisements. So they opened the book and they took the slabs out of the sleeves and packed it back, and did not pack it back the same way, because I've bought from this seller before. So it was not packed back the same way it normally is. So I can tell you, if you're a seller, don't ship media mail. If you're a buyer, if you're buying anything that you care about, I would suggest that you go ahead and message the seller and tell them, I'd much rather have priority and I'll pay the difference. And usually, I mean, they act like it's going to break them. Yes, if you're selling a 99-cent book, I understand how media mail makes all the difference. But if this book costs 15 to 20 bucks, media mail for one book versus regular mail for one book is like a $3 or $4 difference. And most buyers be happy to pay it. So don't send stuff media mail. You're not winning. No one wins. So, or bound printed matter if you're going to send slabs. So that's it. I didn't know how many of you knew about that. I didn't know how many of you have ever seen one of these before. This is the second one I think I've had. And people will say, oh, my local post office, my local post office. Look, it can be inspected at any stop in the Postal Service. Once it's been tracked, you know, it has a tracking number, media mail has tracking numbers. And as soon as it goes to one spot, at anywhere along the line, it can be checked. And this one was checked like in Georgia. So it was states away before it got to me and they checked it. So anyway, that's all that I wanted to tell you all. I hope you enjoyed the haul. It's a fun little haul, just mostly DC. Just sneaking that one Spider-Woman slab in there, and I might keep that one, y'all. We'll find out. So anyway, I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. When you get done, if you ever get your comics in the mail, then read one. Thanks. Bye.